Last time, on my boyfriend's boyfriend, and me, Nick had arrived. The first night had held, and I'd shared a ride with them both down the coast. But there's a moment on a trip like this, where the day splits. Not all at once, just quietly. Where you're still there, still moving through it, still doing all the things you're meant to be doing. And at the same time, there's another version of the day happening. One that looks exactly like the one you planned, just without you in it. Welcome to Act 6, Escape Velocity. The market was still loud around me. The basil was still on my fingers, and somewhere between one breath and the next, they were simply gone. Not a goodbye. They hadn't even seen I was there watching. Just not there anymore. And the tour kept moving. The market accumulated rather than organized itself. Stall by stall, ingredient by ingredient, the day building in layers you didn't have to think about. Thai basil, coriander, long red chilies, garlic still papery in the skin, ginger, thick and knotted, smelling of everything, eggs stacked in towers, chicken already portioned, glistening. At one stall, they split open a coconut in front of us. One clean strike, water poured off, flesh scraped, pressed down into milk. Still warm from the air, still alive, almost. Then into vans, up through the hills above Kata. The road narrowed as we climbed. The town flattened out behind us, then disappeared entirely as the jungle pressed in from both sides. Green and close and smelling of wet earth and something sweet underneath it. At the top, the cooking school. School being generous. Open-sided, timber-framed, slightly uneven underfoot, like it had been assembled just confidently enough to exist and hadn't been questioned since. Heat already sitting in the air, waiting for something to do. We were handed aprons, mine green and striped, falling just below the knee. I picked a hat without thinking, powder pink, slightly too small, and put it on anyway. I sat beside a Norwegian guy traveling alone, IT contractor. Quiet, easy smile. One of those people who don't need to speak much to feel easy beside. We didn't introduce ourselves properly. Didn't need to. In front of us, a long table. Ingredients piled in the center. And our guide, now transformed entirely into a chef, loud, booming, completely filling the space. Any awkwardness between strangers didn't stand a chance to form. We started around 10:30. My first job was the basil. I picked up the knife and just went for it. Fingers tucked, blade rocking, trying to look like I'd done this before. Fast, confident, or at least performing both convincingly enough. There were no real instructions, just expectation. And he was quick, gently, ruthlessly quick, to call out anything that looked wrong. I could feel the heat building under the hat, sweat at the back of my neck. That particular self-consciousness of your hands, are they moving right, fast enough, sure enough? He glanced over, paused, complimented my chopping, just like that. And I was in. The thing about having a busy mind in a loud kitchen with a chef who doesn't wait for you, there's no room for anything else. No space for the morning. No space for the cold side of the bed, or the open door, or the questions that had been sitting with me since 8:20. Just the knife and the board, and the smell and the heat, and the voice cutting across the room telling someone their ginger was wrong. It was chaotic, frantic, completely absorbing. For a mind that had been splitting itself in two directions since before dawn, it was, unexpectedly, a relief. My phone buzzed against the table, face down. I caught the notification on my watch. Nick had posted, but I couldn't pick it up. Too obvious, too rude. The chef's eyes were everywhere. So I left it. finished what I was doing, set the knife down. Then I checked, lifting the phone with a cat-like reflex. Kata viewpoint. The camera moving slowly across it. No rush, no narration, just light. The whole of Kata town laid out below. Bays curving softly into each other. Buildings pressed between hills. The sea at the edges flattening everything into calm. Green and silver and blue, and the kind of quiet that only exists when you're high enough above the noise. I could see, just barely, the roof of the building I was sitting in. Nobody asking anything. Nothing required. Just space. And light. And the slow pan of a camera held by someone with nowhere to be. I'd chosen that stop because of what it does. The way it shows you how everything connects, how close it all actually is, even when it takes 30 minutes to reach. The week before, standing up there with two people determined to be unimpressed, I hadn't been able to feel any of it. But watching it now, like this, through a small screen in a warm room, it looked exactly like I'd imagined it would. I kept checking. I knew I was doing it. I didn't stop. It wasn't about them. Not entirely. It was something closer to that question I'd been circling since morning. The line between generosity and something else. I'd built that day. Every stop, every detail. And if I could see it, really see it, frame by frame, the way I'd intended it, then maybe it wasn't lost. Maybe it was still mine in some form. Something I could hold on to from the back of the room. I'm not sure I fully believed that. But it was the story I was telling myself, and it was just about working. Back to the table. Ginger this time. The smell hit immediately. Sharp, bright, cutting clean through everything else in the room. The Norwegian guy was struggling with the mortar and pestle beside me. No leverage, wrong angle. I could see it before he could. We swapped without a word. I ground his portion down before the chef could notice. He gave me a small smile, a wink. The relief of a man who has been quietly rescued. The phone again. Nihon Beach. Wide, unhurried sand. Water moving gently. None of the aggression you get at the busier stretches. Still early enough in the day that the heat doesn't consume you. The kind of beach that doesn't perform itself. Nick on his stomach, the sea rolling in behind him. Sun high and soft. The frame unhurried, the light doing everything. No one else in it. Just warmth. Just ease. Just a body lying in the sun with nothing asked of it. Effortless. In the way that only reads as effortless when you're watching from somewhere else entirely. Back to the room. Properly cooking now. 5 metal stations wheeled in. Gas burners underneath. Tanks clunking into place. Huge woks dropped on top with a sound you felt in your chest. Keep it moving, the chef's voice filling every corner. Don't stop, don't let it stick. Move, move, move. Heat rising from every direction now. Flames licking the sides of the woks. Oil spitting. Voices getting louder to compete with each other, and with the burners, and with the smell. Thick, layered, impossible to separate into anything individual. And somewhere in all of that, the noise and the heat and the pressure of it, I was laughing. Properly laughing. At something the chef said, at the Norwegian guy beside me losing control of his wok, at the sheer physical chaos of 5 people trying to cook 5 dishes each simultaneously in an open-sided barn on a hill in Thailand. It was ridiculous and alive and completely present tense. I kept going. Couldn't stop. Wouldn't have known how. Then, played it. Sit. The phone. The big Buddha. White marble against open sky. Massive, unhurried, indifferent to everything below it in the best possible way. Sitting at the highest point on the island, the mountain range visible on both sides, sea on both sides, the whole shape of Phuket revealed at once. The camera moving slowly across the surface, light catching and scattering. Everything still. Quiet. In a way that reached through the screen. From up there, you can see how the island holds itself together. The hills, the water, the towns filling in the gaps. It all makes sense from that height in a way it never quite does from inside it. Nick moving through the frame. Small against all that white. The scale of it. Back to the table. Pad Thai first. Sweet, sharp, balanced. Lime cutting through, heat sitting just at the back of the throat. Tom Yum next. Bright and sour and almost aggressive. Lemongrass and chili and something floral underneath that you couldn't name but knew immediately was right. The phone. Wat Chalong. Gold layered over red. Buildings rising in tiers, each one catching the light differently. Firecrackers going off in the courtyard. Sharp, echoing, the sound bouncing between the walls. Smoke drifting sideways. A deep gong somewhere underneath it all, steady as a heartbeat. Nick climbing the steps, statues towering over him, the whole thing glowing. Back to the table. Mango sticky rice. Soft, heavy with coconut. The kind of thing that makes the room go briefly, completely quiet. It was perfect. Exactly what it was meant to be. We left just after 3. 4 hours or so. Gone. Me and the Norwegian guy shared the drop back to the beach. Barriers everywhere when we got there. Police, crowds pressed back from the waterfront. The King of Thailand was there. A regatta. The entire town reorganized around the fact of him. We stood for a while, watching. He was smaller than you'd expect. They always are. Drink? He asked. I said no. We shook hands in that brief, clean way you do with someone you've spent a good few hours beside and will never see again. He headed toward the water. I watched him go and thought, a stranger with no context, no version of this story in his head, had been easier today than almost anything else. I immediately wished I'd said yes, after he'd already started walking away. Suddenly, I felt alone again. Getting a taxi back should have been simple. It wasn't. Booked. Canceled. Booked again. Canceled again. The app cycling through drivers who accepted and then thought better of it. Each one a small, flat disappointment arriving in sequence. The town wasn't helping. With the king there, the whole place had reorganized itself around the fact of him. Crowds pushing through, police redirecting everything. The usual logic of streets and movement replaced by something ceremonial and dense, and entirely indifferent to me needing to get somewhere. I found a 7-Eleven towards the edge of town. Marlboro Gold. A cold beer. I sat at the end of the main street and lit one. I'd given up smoking years ago. Properly. Not the on-again, off-again version, the actual version. I'd had a vape for the trip, just in case that reach-for-something feeling arrived, but I'd thrown it in a bin in Abu Dhabi airport without really thinking about it. And now, here I was, in a Thai town that had been taken over by a royal regatta and 1,000 redirected tuk-tuks, smoking a cigarette and drinking a beer, and watching the whole thing move around me like I was a stone in a river. The phone would buzz. A driver accepted. I'd stub out the cigarette, gather myself, stand up. Canceled. Sit back down. Light another one. The town kept going. Loud, hot, purposeful, completely unbothered by my particular situation. People everywhere, not aimless, all of them somewhere, all of them with a direction I didn't have. The frantic, specific energy of a place that has somewhere to be. And me, not quite arriving anywhere, not quite settled either. too restless to be still, nothing to move toward. Every few minutes, almost leaving, never quite going. The man who doesn't smoke. In the town the king had borrowed, waiting for a car that kept changing its mind. Then the phone. Not a taxi this time. Old Town. I knew this street. I'd been here the week before, and the year before that. I knew where the driver would park, knew the way the pedestrian street opened up, knew the particular rhythm of it, the color and the bustle, the stalls pressing in from both sides, the way it slowed you down without asking. And at the end of the street, the vendor. Decorative ice creams on sticks, flower-shaped, more beautiful than edible. The kind of thing you buy for the picture rather than the taste. The week before, I'd bought one for Michael and one for me. We'd taken a photo, something small and sweet. Nick was holding one up over his face, posing with it. That easy grin. The bloom of it pressed against his cheek, petals fanning out. Michael must have bought it for him. The same gesture, the same street, the same vendor. Just not my hands this time. The Old Town had been on my list today for a reason beyond the walking and the light and the color. There's a fabric shop tucked into one of the side streets. I'd found it for the first time 2 years ago. The kind of place you don't find twice unless you already know it's there. I'd bought fabric 2 weeks before, not enough of it. I'd been planning to go back, get more, and make everyone cushions when we got home. Something handmade. Something that said, I was thinking of you, even then, even in the middle of all of it. It was still on the list. I just wasn't there to tick it off. It took nearly 2 hours in total. When the taxi finally came, actually came, engine running, driver waiting, I got in and just sat there for a second before saying anything. The particular relief of a surface that will hold you, a space that contains you. The driver was a woman, unusual enough that I noticed it. Pleasant, unhurried, the kind of calm that doesn't need filling. She had one of those beaded fabric seat covers on her chair, neat and considered. No music. The silence settled around us immediately. Not uncomfortable, just present. She caught my eye once in the mirror, read whatever was there, and looked back at the road. She didn't try to talk. I was grateful for that. Just the coast road unrolling ahead. Towns appearing suddenly, dense and lit and loud, then gone just as fast, swallowed back into dark road and the sea somewhere to the left. The air conditioning running just cool enough to feel like a different world from the one I'd spent the day in. I checked my phone as we approached the villa. The Flower Cafe. Every surface covered, walls, ceiling, every spare inch, in bright pink blooms. Abundant, ridiculous, completely defiantly itself. Coffee, cake. The light through it all doing something almost unreal. The last stop of the day. The day was ending for all of us, which meant they'd be heading back soon. The last frame of a day I'd built from the first stop to this one. Nick in the frame. Just Nick. Michael wasn't in any of it. Not once. Not a reflection. Not a hand at the edge of the frame. Not a voice off camera. Nowhere. By the time I got into the villa, it was nearly 6. The sun already dropping. That sudden, no-warning Phuket descent, the sky going from gold to dark before you've agreed to it. Then, the storm came. Properly came. A wall of water arriving all at once from nowhere. Lightning first, white and immediate. Then thunder rolling through the quiet like something enormous shifting its weight. The power cut out. The air turned cold almost instantly. The noise of the day, all of it, the cooking school, the road, the phone, the waiting, just stopped. And there was nothing. No distraction, no movement, no small task to reach for. Just me. And everything I'd been moving alongside all day without quite looking at. All of it. There. At once. I stood in it for a moment. Didn't move. Didn't reach for anything. Giving something away isn't always a grand gesture. It isn't always the moment you hand over something precious with both hands and feel the weight of it leaving. Sometimes, it's quieter. A driver booked, an itinerary sent, a day shaped, a seat taken in the back of a van rather than the front, a kiss on a cheek rather than the lips. One small unconscious choice, then another, then another. Each one reasonable. Each one kind. Each one so authentically automatic. You never once felt it as a decision. Until you're standing in the dark and the silence, with nothing left but the sound of rain beating on polished stone. I'd built something beautiful that day. I just forgot to put myself in it. Then my phone lit up in my hand. I looked at it for a second, but I didn't open the post. I paused and sent Michael a message. Just a rain emoji. You have been listening to My Boyfriend's Boyfriend and Me. Act 6. Escape Velocity. I'd spent the whole day watching something unfold, trying to stay steady inside it, telling myself I was handling it well, that I was being generous, that I was fine. But standing there, in the dark, with nothing left to distract me, that version of things didn't hold anymore. Because it wasn't about what was happening. It was about what I wasn't saying, what I wasn't asking for, what I wasn't allowing myself to want. And suddenly, I stopped asking what I needed and started asking something much simpler. What do I want? Next time, I choose. Join me next time for Act 7, Breaking Orbit.